Tamim Nabizada from Bexhill. And in the blue corner, his opponent, Tayjay Williams from Neasden. So look at your screen, Neasden on the right-hand side there in the blue gloves with the luminous yellow boxing boots. Nabizada in the red corner, red gloves, and the yellow gold shorts. So 3 2-minute rounds in this quarter-final in the senior B category. First senior B category we've seen in this ring, actually 69 kilos over, the same weight division as the 3 or 4 bouts previous. And the bell sounds for the first round.
Our first bout without headguards tonight.
Indeed, and again, the experience level these boxers will be party to just goes up a notch because of that. Of course, still the amateur headguards in the youth section. And they removed a couple of years ago now, was it, for the seniors? When was it?
I think it was 2013, but it came in a very sort of swift transition. It first came off in international boxing, and then those rules were eventually applied to the domestic tournaments. So definitely the World Championships in 2013 were the first major tournament without headguards. We did see quite a few cuts there, and even we've got this sort of parallel international event called the World Series of Boxing, which is almost a quasi-pro event that's been going for 5 years now. That hasn't had headguards, but they're still pretty wild and reckless with their heads in there, so it is taking longer than you'd think for boxers to adjust.
Well, 2 boxers in front of us wasting no time, and you see Tayjay Williams there adopting that Philly shell stance. One made pretty well famous by one Floyd Mayweather, who's just come off the back of 48 straight win. Of course, that style itself is a very reflex-based style. Of course, he's got a bit more orthodox now, but just see that shoulder roll earlier on. It's interesting seeing how younger boxers are influenced by that style, but it comes with a set of risks of its own, doesn't it?
I was going to say, it's not always necessarily the best idea to try and imitate Floyd Mayweather. You've got to get your basics right first, and a few of these big hooks from Nabizada that he's been winging in have been catching Williams. So you do need to get your fundamentals right first before the flashier work comes in.
Well, Williams just popping the jab out, moving away to his right-hand side. The bell for the end of the first round goes. Nabizada, his prerogative will be to try and get on the inside and rough Williams up a little bit. Shorter of the man, just see Williams there on your screen, taking in a bit of water and a bit of advice for his corner as well.
Doesn't look overly ruffled, does he?
Doesn't look overly ruffled, doesn't look overly taxed. Perhaps Nabizada there breathing a little bit more heavily of the two, and slightly more of a look of concern, or perhaps focus is the right word. You might hear that wood clapping 3 times, and that's an indicator of 10 seconds to go. We signalled at the end of each round, towards the end of each round, and in the break as well. As Williams just re-establishes the jab, and yeah, you can just see that stance. He's got more than a bit of Mayweather about him, just the way he pops in and out of the pocket. But he's caught there with a nice short, sharp hook from Nabizada.
Started aggressively Nabizada, but he's settled down a bit now as we progress into the second round. Good left hook there.
That was a nice combination from Williams. I just feel he's got to try and keep this one at range. He's got really big reach advantage. Just perhaps like to see that jab a little bit more, and wonder if his corner would have told him so. But he seems to be more than happy to put his head in there and work away on the inside, which is unusual. Looking at the two, you'd think he would keep on the outside, keep his man at range, but to be comfortable boxing on the outside and the inside. Catches Nabizada with a long left hook as he walked in. Bexhill man defiantly keeps walking forwards. Just jabs to the body, but he seems a little bit, he's got a conundrum to solve here. Just cannot quite find his range and struggling to get on the inside. Does so there. Williams returns the favour with a couple of hooks to the body. And there we see it, the heads come together. And the referee delivers the first warning. Of course, not deliberate, and often it can be the shorter fighter that can deliver the more damaging blows because the top of their head can come in contact with the eyebrow of the taller man.
Yeah, that is a risk. And Williams doing sort of firming up his lead jab a little bit more. He's landing it, but not with quite enough authority to stop Nabizada coming in, and there he's landing those right hands over the top.
So an interesting contest developing between these two. Nice contrast of styles, and there we are. Hello.
How's my hair?
That looks good. How's mine?
It's annoyingly thick.
I don't know about that. Well, there we go. Tayjay Williams, Tamim Nabizada there, sorry, on your screen in the red corner from Bexhill. And there's Tayjay Williams in the blue corner. Again, looking pretty relaxed. And perhaps, as you suggested, John, there needs to be a little bit more snap in his jab and perhaps a little bit more urgency in his work. He just seems to be quite relaxed in there, but perhaps almost a little bit too relaxed for my liking.
Yeah, it would be good to see him sort of turn on the style and the authority in the last round, just to make sure of the win. It's always risky if you take your foot off the gas, if you think you've got a bout sewn up.
We'll see if Nabizada can do anything to turn the tide. It looks as if Tayjay Williams, barring a disaster in this third round, is ahead at the moment. So Nabizada, and you can see already the pattern it's going to establish, and Williams is going to try and box, keep himself in this one, but he's going to be put under some pressure in these last couple of minutes. Suddenly the urgency that we wanted to see in the last couple of rounds, and perhaps a signal of just how important this tournament actually is to both of these boxers.
Nabizada is attacking him with gusto, really letting his hands go, swinging, just not connecting enough.
That was a nice right and a left hook from Williams, and the referee warning for heads coming together again, I believe. Williams backs his man up, slapping left hook to the ribs, taken partially on the arms, throws the uppercut on the inside, came off the gloves, and then left hook behind it landed. It's good work from Williams and tight defence from him as well. Catches him with a lead right hook that time, and now Nabizada's backing up onto the ropes. And Williams showing the judges that he is fully in control of this one. Nice work from the man in the blue corner.
That was impressive, the uppercuts going in, taking his attack down to the body with hooks.
Bringing the guard down with those hooks to the body and then aiming upstairs. You can see him doing it again, and Nabizada just hasn't really got much of an answer to this. And well, for all his slightly lackadaisical body language in the first two breaks, Williams has really clicked up through the gears here and shown us that he wants this, and he wants to be in the semi-final tomorrow. He's just slipping there nicely, making Nabizada miss, and the man in red firmly pinned onto the ropes, now into the corner. See Williams there, just head-on head. I don't think Nabizada's got a great deal left in the tank as Williams continues to tee off, keeping the volume up. Well, they left absolutely nothing to chance there. Of course, what we see ringside, not always what the judges see, so important not to draw any early conclusions, but it did seem that Williams was in control and that he was the better boxer, and he was able to control and dictate the pace of the fight on his own terms.
The Neasden Mayweather, as we're deciding to call him now.
Rightly so. Well, perhaps not rightly so, but so.
Optimistically so.
Absolutely,
perhaps.
yeah. So we will go to the judges' scorecards. So, as we thought, Tayjay Williams with unanimous points decision victory. He'll move on to the semi-finals tomorrow. Good contest, that.